Everybody.
Hey y'all, welcome back. So this is Knitting in Our Jeans.
Yes.
I'm Liz.
And I'm Carolyn.
And thank you for joining us. If you're new, welcome back.
Yes, welcome.
If you're returning.
We actually have a couple new viewers.
Oh, we
do? Yes, I did check. I think there were 2 new ones this week.
Oh,
so welcome. Yes.
Wow.
Can you tell it was raining today? Look at this.
And I was in Miami, so I haven't actually looked at my hair in the mirror today. Since I put it up in a ponytail, and then we got to the testing facility, and it was really hot, so I pulled it up in a bun, and it just, okay.
Well, I actually had disciplined curls this morning, but this is what my hair does in the humidity, so this is why I grew it long, because otherwise it'd be short and doing this all over my head. Anyway, it was raining like a monsoon today. We had a dedication of my school. It's one of our alumni has given boatloads of money.
So now has the library and the School of Business.
And the School of Business, Mr. O'Malley.
Thomas O'Malley?
Thomas D. O'Malley.
Thomas D. O'Malley.
63.
Class 063?
Class 063, yes. He's so very generous. We're very pleased. And he called it a monsoon today because we had to move the whole thing from our building into the large auditorium, which is Smith Chapel, yes. And so instead of actually seeing all of the dedication stuff, we actually had pictures of what they're putting in our hallway in my building to signify his words to the students and all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's very nice. I'm very, very grateful that he's giving this money, so that's lovely. And he really...
You said a bunch of former colleagues were there.
Yes. Several of the former deans were there, and it was a good showing. It really was.
Fred was a former dean?
Fred Abdullah was a former dean, yes. He was before Jimmy Suarez. Yes. He has been a provost. He's been an assistant provost. He's, he hired me.
I thought Al hired you.
Ed was the assistant dean.
Al was the assistant dean.
And Fred was the dean.
Oh my God.
And
I wish I had been alive and cognizant enough to observe this.
Oh, was it right?
Because it's legitimately my Middle Eastern,
buddy,
or he was a stand-in grandfather for a lot of my life. Not that I didn't have grandfathers in my life, but he was an additional grandpa.
Right.
Bonus grandpa.
Bonus. That's
bonus Middle Eastern grandpa and Cuban bonus grandpa.
Yes. Yes. So
I can't even describe to you. And they're hilarious together.
Oh, they are. They really
because
are.
they're the best of friends.
Yes.
And they just both complain about the conditions in their home countries.
Yes.
Under the new regime.
Yes.
Which for one was
it's Iraq.
It was the
Taliban.
It was the Taliban, and for the other, Castro.
And Fred is not Muslim. He's Chaldean, and he goes around saying, "My people were there before anybody else was. I'm Chaldean. Forget Iraqi. I'm Chaldean."
It's really
cute.
funny because his wife just goes,
"Yes, dear.
Fred. Okay, honey.
Yes, dear."
And we just go, "We love you, we love."
That's right.
Thank you.
So I went in for the interviews, and then Fred called a couple days later and wanted to discuss my salary. I said, "Fred, I can't talk to you right now because I have to go and give my
defense,
an oral defense of my paper, my dissertation. I can't talk about this now." I'm sorry. I was giving my proposal. It was my oral proposal. I said, "Fred, I can't talk about this now. I'll have to get back to you." I hung up the phone.
I love you so much.
Not like this man was offering me, just exactly what I wanted, which he was.
Yeah.
But I couldn't talk about that now. And I think he, these things
respected
happen.
that.
That's right. These things happen. I was a little flustered. And
I love it.
That's the way it goes. So, yeah, we have some new viewers, so thank you very much. And we certainly have some very loyal, longtime viewers, and we really appreciate that. And we have some things to report on. I can report on the conference, and I've got a little pile of things that I've been working on.
And I went to Miami.
That's right. So why don't you tell me what you're working on like a fiend over here?
So,
this is really pretty.
Thank you. I can't... Let me finish This, there's no good way to try it on right now.
Oh.
So this is my Aumangea.
That is gorgeous. I love the V.
Thank you. So it's 21 inches from here. There's an extra 3 inches that's added to that back measurement. Remember how I told you I measured my Cora, and my Cora is 21 inches? Yeah. That's from the top of the neck. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So this is a tunic length.
Oh, great.
Or will be probably once I put the hem on it.
That's lovely.
So,
didn't you want that?
I mean, I have to figure out what, like, I have to get, like, some, like, leather leggings or something.
Oh, leather would be gorgeous.
I kind of want some leather kind of leggings
that would
to
be
wear
lovely.
with it. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that was my thought. So I
Or we could
picked
go
up,
to Mood and we could buy leather.
or stretch faux leather.
Okay.
You don't want to make, I really don't want actual, that would be hot.
Okay.
Also not extremely washable. And you kind of want washable leggings.
Okay.
We'll discuss. So I picked up and I knit the back collar and the front collar.
I love it.
I first did this front V where I miscounted. I misread the pattern, and instead of 2 stitches from the wrap stitch, I did 1 stitch from the wrap stitch. So all of a sudden I had one side like this, and I was like, there's no way that is that big. So I ripped it out and I redid it. And then
It's much better.
Yeah. So then I seamed as per the pattern and then bound off collar. I have to weave in some of these ends, but what I did when I seamed up my sweater, also can we observe the beautiful, beautiful stripe matching?
Yes, it's gorgeous.
I needed a drink in order to do it well. That's how stressed my week was this past week. I honestly screwed it up 3 times during the week. And then Thursday,
Really?
I went home and was like, I deserve a drink. And I poured myself a elderflower lemonade with tequila.
That sounds lovely.
With some tequila. So,
What the heck is that?
This is the text messages about the thing. Yeah.
Oh, the tickets.
The tickets, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. I was like, are we buying tickets right now? I thought I had a day. Sorry. So, yeah. But you know your week has been one hell of a week when you need tequila to properly seam your sweater.
Yes, well, it looks lovely.
It does! I'm really proud. Like, really proud. I showed it to people at work. I was like, look at what I did! They're like, you're insane. I'm like,
it's construction.
But I wove in all of my ends of the body when I did that because I was like, it was a significant amount of ends.
Yes.
So I did that. And then, so I finished the seaming on Sunday night after I got to the hotel. And then I picked up the sleeve last night. But I thought that on the flight back, I would be in a bulkhead row because that's kind of how it looked on the schematic. So I packed this in my suitcase that went up instead of in my bag. Because on the way down, I was in a bulkhead row and I had packed this, but I couldn't get to it. So I worked on my test knit instead. Which was fine. The test knit is going along swimmingly due to that.
Great.
But yeah, so my week, as we heard, Mom went to her conference and it went swimmingly.
Really went well. It was all the LaSallian schools were invited. And, you know, one of my colleagues who went around for the first time said this is the first conference she's been at where people just came up and said, hi, my name's Carolyn and I teach at Manhattan College, or Carolyn Predmore and I teach at Manhattan College. Where do you teach? She says, you know, usually they're ready to spit in your, not the LaSallians, but at other academic conferences, they're ready to spit in your face and cut you down for size. But, you know, it's not that we're going to say everything's lovely. We're going to give you constructive comments, but they're going to be said in hopes that your research will get better, not to make points because we want to be seen as snarky. We just don't make snarky comments. So that
you might, just not about their research.
Not about their research. And generally, people are just so earnest. And we had some lovely conversations. I got to see Brother Louis de Thomasis again, who was a former president of St. Mary's of Minnesota that I had met in Rome. So several of the brothers that I had met in Rome were there, which was really nice. And
you managed to not go to Stephen B?
Managed not to go to Stephen B. We were busy from the time I landed.
Yeah, it sounded like it because we didn't text or even call until late.
No. And then Friday. Sunday afternoon I might have, but I was
You were tired.
I had all of this stuff and I ordered some of the neighborhood stuff.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So I love Stephen B. I love Stephen B. And if I'd had one more day, I would have been over there. But I was exhausted.
Yeah.
So I got off the plane. I got to the hotel in time to throw the bag down, change my shoes, get on the shuttle, and get over. And it started, and we didn't get back until 9 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
And then it was up and out, and we had to be back at the conference center by 7:30, where they fed us breakfast and started, and then back by 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday night, when we got back, I got into my stretch pants and my T-shirt. Next thing I know, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm waking up.
Mm-hmm.
I fell over. I just went...
Yep.
And took a nap. Then I was up till 1:30.
Of course.
Doing my sock for the day. My goal has been a sock a day.
Good.
And if I do a sock a day, I will make it in spades.
Yeah.
So, I finished the sock for that day. And then went back to sleep. It was funny. People were saying how they were having trouble sleeping because they sleep best in their own bed. Let me tell you. It was at a Sheraton. It was the Midtown Sheraton in, where was I? Minneapolis. I was going to say Milwaukee. Minneapolis. The bed was really nice. And it's lovely to be in a place where no one knows your name. So I knew that I didn't have to get up at 5 a.m., and I didn't have anybody who was going to be snoring next to me. I didn't have anybody who was going to be suddenly waking up and I needed something. I knew that I was bereft of all responsibilities. And it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I slept so well. Good. It was great. It was absolutely great. So the Dr. Trable, who went with me, said, I agree with you. She says, the baby's not calling for me. My husband's not calling for me. She says, we have a white noise thing that we have when we sleep. She goes, it sounds like we're sleeping in a construction zone. I love this hotel. So the sleeping was good. The food was all the Christian Brothers, and they fed us very well. They took into account my food allergies, which was great. The only time I managed to give myself a headache was when I ate the chocolate I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also had a pretty exciting week, though. We had an emergency trip up to Poughkeepsie.
Oh, yes.
But those of you who know, we're not going to go into detail, but...
our friend is better than we thought she would be.
Our friend is much better.
It could have been a lot worse.
Recovering very well.
So we're here to tell you that if you have a heart condition and they tell you to take your pre-medication before you go to the dentist, take it.
Take it. They don't know if that was the case.
No, I'm just saying
but
that
take it.
The bacteria she had was that kind of bacteria.
But it also could have been, she has a cat.
Well, yes, I understand that. I'm just saying that
I know.
Lacking other stimuli and for other people out there,
also,
that we saw what can happen if you don't take it.
Also,
if
you have a heart condition and you have a sinus infection or something for a month, and then a part of your body starts hurting, go to the emergency room and get blood tests done.
Yes.
The same thing that happened to my friend actually happened to a coworker's brother-in-law, and he was very seriously affected. And actually, I don't know if he passed away due to complications, but he just passed away this past weekend.
So we're very serious. And
very serious.
Getting your teeth cleaned, and you're supposed to be pre-medicated. Your stomach gets upset, but it's certainly worth getting your stomach upset in order to be alive. We'd much rather you be alive. Yes. So heads up on that one. And if your foot hurts, make sure they don't let you out of the emergency room or the hospital until they've decided what it is. So we've gotten that all straightened out, and she's doing much better.
Yes, but thank you for all of the support, those of you who knew and reached out, and that was very lovely. And sorry if I missed anything this past weekend, because I went up to Poughkeepsie during the week. I came back. Mom went up, came back.
I went up on Thursday, came back. No, went up on Wednesday.
Wednesday, came back Thursday. I went up on Tuesday, came back Tuesday night. You went up Wednesday, came back Thursday. Friday, I went up after work. I came back on Saturday, later, and then she and I were supposed to go to the Ed Sheeran concert. Dad went with me instead, because my father is a super dad.
That's right.
Ed Sheeran, actually, he's gotten a lot better in the years since I saw him last. In terms of his repartee with the audience. And he was saying that American audiences, they when they're at a gig, they're like, yeah, this is great, and they're dancing and they're singing along, and he feels like he should do that because if this is a microphone, he was funny. He was saying, he was like talking in it, and then he goes, and when I'm at a gig, I'm like. Because, all I do is I do a real good sway as my dance move. And he was like, even then I'm worried that other people are judging me. And no one should be judging you here. And, and then he was like, 98% of the crowd will give me their full, participation and all that. But there's that 2%. Half of that percent is the reluctant boyfriend. Who are there, they're like, hey, it's okay. Not really what I'd want to go see, but she's happy. Alright. He went on for that one a little bit, and then I'm sitting there with my dad, and I'm like, alright, because he was like, yeah, and then you meet other reluctant boyfriends in the bathroom, and you're like, hey. And you're like, eh. And then you have the super dads. And I really respect the super dads, and he was like, my dad is a super dad, and he's like, this is better than them hanging out at the pool table, playing pool all night, at least they're out doing something, and, he would always drive him to different, different gigs and stuff with his friends, and he was like, yeah, the dads, they're like, good, you're happy, I'm happy, you're happy,
right,
the beer's a little overpriced, the food's a little overpriced, the merch is a little overpriced. Did you see the prices on the fake ones outside? But they are troopers. And, both cases, they are there supporting and being there for the ones that they love. And the ones that they love who are there are very happy that they are there. And I was like, my daddy.
Yeah.
So my daddy won all of the super dad points.
Yes, he did.
Because he also drove all the way out to MetLife and back. But we've discovered the perfect place to park if we ever have to go back to MetLife.
Oh, good. Where?
Because it's in Lot E, under E25.
Okay.
Because you are, right near the exit.
Excellent.
But also, we left, so he did his whole show, and it was really good. And then he hadn't done Shape of You yet, and I knew that was his encore. But he had 2 or 3 encore songs, but I knew it was the first one. So we waited for that. And once that was done, it was also bright enough in the stadium for me to feel comfortable walking down the stairs, because we were about 15 seats from the top of MetLife Stadium. But we were seated directly on with center with the stage. So the acoustics were great.
Your father said he loved the sound.
He could not stop talking about it.
No, I know. He said it's like a giant choir.
Yeah, it was. I also was like, it's predominantly a lot of girls my age and younger.
Know all the words
and can, sing it exactly like the CD. So it was really good. He was really great with his interactions with the crowd. His show, it's still just him on stage with, the loop pedals and his guitars. And it was great.
I'm glad.
I really enjoyed it a lot. If you are going to any of the concerts, go and you want merch, go on dividetour.com and you can order online and pick up at the venue.
Oh, nice.
I found that out while I was online for merch and cut the line. So I actually did get merch. I didn't bring it with me. I think it's still down in my suitcase because I think I packed it. But because I saw his Multiply tour. So
you have a hole in your tights?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I picked up the ones that had the hole, apparently.
Okay.
It happens.
It does.
So we
need to get pedicures.
We do. I also need to get my eyebrows done. I was going to say, do you want to go with me to get our eyebrows done on Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll have to pick a time, maybe 5, 6.
I'll see when they're open and I'll call tomorrow.
Because we've got a full Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
I will call over tomorrow. He had a very similar to his Multiply concert for his Divide concert, and I decided I didn't want that one, so I got one that's just a circle. It looks like a record, actually, and it says the World, Ed Sheeran World Tour, and it has the U.S. Cities on the back.
Very nice.
So I'm really excited about it. He ended up playing Icy Fire, which is the song he wrote for the credits of The Hobbit.
Oh, nice.
Which is, like, one of my favorite songs he's written, because he made sure that the lyrics were correct in terms of, because the first verse draws on a lot of Tolkien lore, more than the rest, because, the chorus and yada yada. So it just makes me really happy. But he went from one song into that, and it was just beautiful.
There, got it.
And I was very excited, and Dad was just like, "You're real hyped." I was like, "This is like one of my favorite songs."
I'm just glad you could go. Because
I am too. I was worried
Cassie was sick,
and I didn't want to go by myself because it was all the way at MetLife, and
it was good.
Yeah. So that was good, and then I actually flew out to Miami for work
on Sunday
night.
And I flew back on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think my husband spent his entire Sunday night
evening at JFK.
Yes.
Yep.
But better than LaGuardia.
He didn't say it, but he thought it really loud. Why couldn't you and I have coordinated to have flights closer together? Thought it really loud. He didn't say it aloud, but he was thinking it real loud.
Very loud.
But it was really, really great. I went down for a test of the panels that create our exterior walls. And so that was really interesting, because that was my first time going down for that kind of, or viewing that kind of test.
Mm-hmm.
We passed, which is good.
It's excellent.
Of all the tests that I saw, they will set up for a 6-day set, or a 6-day cycle of testing that, like, it's not really viewable because it's within a there's a chamber on the exterior of the panels. So I might have to go down, not next week, but the week after, but we'll see, for the conclusion of the testing. The 8th.
The 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. Week of the 8th, because the 5th is the Friday. So yeah. So that was cool. It was my first work trip. Yes, and when Felix's wedding.
Right.
So, Sunday, I got the text message from Pyle.
What?
Oh, cool! I swear to God, Felix, if you watch this, I did not say anything to you.
No.
I'm pretty sure you don't watch this, so I'm not going to say much more. But
someone better be filming.
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after, Mommy, because I'm excited.
That sounds great.
I might even get Ben in it.
Nice!
We'll see. So, I'm really excited about that. That's in 2 weeks, or 9
and you're getting
10 days.
That Rent the Runway dress?
Yeah, Rent the Runway. Oh my God. I didn't tell you. I had this horrible dream last week that Poppy would pass away and the funeral would be this coming up weekend. Or no, he would pass away and the funeral would be like this coming up week. Not this week, but next week. And I have to pick up my dress on Thursday.
Right.
And so I didn't know what to do, and in the dream, 2 of my coworkers went and got my dress. So I did. I went up to them the next day. Like, last week, I was like, guys, so if this happens, can you pick up my dress for me, and I'll figure out, we'll figure out how I get it, because I can't not have my dress. Even if I have to drive back to the city just for the wedding, and, pick up the dress from either Tribeca or Jersey or wherever it's gonna be. And they were like, yes, we will go get it for you. I was like, okay, because these are the things my brain decides that I should have anxiety dreams over.
Weddings are a big deal.
Isn't it hilarious though that like that's what my brain thought was important?
Yes.
I don't know why. But yeah, so I went down to Miami on Sunday. I was there Monday and earlier today. Today we're recording, it's Tuesday. And I did not make it to a yarn shop because I did not have my own vehicle. Also because we were there working most of the time. And
it was just 2 days.
It was just 2 days, yeah. So, but I got a lot of knitting done.
All right.
So now that we've done our updates, as I said, I got the collar seamed, and I picked up my sleeve. I then kept having my Tegna in my purse, and I finished the lace.
That's gorgeous.
I know.
That is just gorgeous.
And then I've got like 3.
Nice.
And I started the second ball, and you can kind of tell where it is, but if you also look at the lace, it's not that I think it's just because it's stockinette.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I've been staring at it for 2 days.
I think you're fine.
I do want to retake my gauge on the stockinette section I already have done to see if I need to go up in needle size, because I'll take out those 2 rows or whatever if it seems like I do, or not 2 rows, 2 inches if I do, because I am a little concerned. The pattern says to do it until you reach 13 inches, and I think I'm going to do that because I measured myself, and that's about high hip, so we're going to go with it.
Good.
And it's so lovely. It's so pretty.
I think that'd be pretty as a tunic, too.
Yeah. And then I've been working on my test knit. That's all you get to see because it's a test knit.
That's gorgeous. I love the color.
Yeah, I do too. And actually so my contrast color isn't super contrasty yet.
No.
So we'll see. I also kind of like the wrong side better.
Oh, the wrong side's lovely.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm about halfway through with that. I want to measure the yarn to make sure that I have enough. We'll see. But yeah, so do you want me to show and you'll...
Yeah, I'll just keep knitting.
Mom has finished 8 of these little baby hat feetsy toe koozies.
They are test tiny socks. So they have the circumference of it's actually my foot. So I make a 60 stitch sock. And in our knitting class for both knit and Rhinebeck, we're trying to do 2 kinds of heels. So there's no way we have time to knit 2 of these, that the participants can knit 2 of these. So I'm doing the ones for the afterthought heel, and we're going to be using a rounded heel to stitch into there. So these will be the ones that they get to practice that, and then they will have instructions on how to do a short row heel that they will knit in the class.
Nice.
So yes, and I have finished the sock. I have a test knitter test knitting the
sock
pattern, and I will be working on the chart not tonight, but tomorrow night, and that should be ready then for Sunday. It'll be hand charted. It won't be in a program charted. I've looked up, there's 2 chart programs that might be useful. One's free. Obviously, that would be a good one to download and just see if I can work it. But things are getting a little tight. I have to do an editing of a survey there's a lot that needs to be done this week.
Yeah.
And I'm mostly pushing to try to get these little socks done. So I have enough, I think, for the class.
You will have enough for the class on Sunday.
And then I start Rhinebeck. And, so we'll be fine. We will be fine. But I don't have time I don't have the spare moments to try out the 2 different charting programs right now. We will try that out in the future because that would be very helpful. And I think for the next sock pattern, that would be nice because I think it'd be really fun. I think that one will be a lot of fun. So anyway, so that's moving along apace. And I'm working on sock number 9 right now. I'm trying to do a sock a day. Good days I can do 2, but they've been few and far between. I thought I'd get more done while I was away at the conference. And I did get 1 sock a day done, but I didn't get much more done than that. So that's just the way it goes.
I also took this, I took this into the testing facility. No, I even took this into the testing facility a few times because I was like, I'm sitting here, I'm looking for leaks. I can sit and knit without looking at it and look for leaks.
Right. As you can tell, we can sit and knit and talk and look at you and everything's okay. Oh, so I was doing this at the conference and one of the brothers from the Philippines says, I do that. He goes, but I have to look at my knitting. He goes, I like Fair Isle. I went, I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I like all that patterning up here. And I print them out and then I cross out each row.
Yes.
I said, yes, I would do that too if I was doing color work. But I'm not.
Yeah. So what I'm looking up her name first.
Well, that looks like a pretty dress.
That you thing. Have that already in a bundle. You already have that favorited.
Okay.
I know because I got it from you.
Oh.
Where I know it's in here. Where's there it is. I think it's under here. Is it? Yeah. So one of the guys who was on the trip with me for work knows Laura Zuccotti.
Really?
So Laura Zuccotti was the designer of my graduation dress.
For college.
I was like, he's told me this before, and I'm like, oh, that's super cool. And, like, I knew her name, and I knew she had done some patterns for the Noro magazine and for the Vogue Knit.
She's incredible.
And then he pulled it up and, like, Googled her name, like, to show others, like, when we were all sitting and stuff, at lunch yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it, and I was like, that's my graduation dress. Like, I'm not kidding you. I think that's my graduation dress. And they were like, what? And I was like, give me a second. So I pulled up Ravelry on my phone, and it took me a little bit, but I was like, holy shit, that's how I know her name. She designed my graduation dress. And so I was like, hey, next time you tell her patterns are well written. I really enjoy the lace that she created. Like, it's a beautiful pattern. And he was like, that's super cool. I was like, yeah, no, that is super cool. So that was fun. And everyone was just like, you knit all the time. I'm like, yes, I do. I mean, if
we like clothes,
and it keeps, and as they said today at lunch, it keeps you from killing people. And I was like, yes. I mean, I also know how to use these as weapons. But
absolutely, we don't have any problem with anybody on the subway or on trains because when you've got needles that are this little,
or just in general, they don't.
You can defend yourself.
Yeah. So that was funny. Because we were talking about knitting, and I was bringing my Tegna out at a lot of things, because for the test knit, I have to look at the pattern, and it's a little bit more involved.
For the Tegna, now you're doing
For the Tegna, now I'm doing stockinette stitch, but the lace was also, you look at it for a little bit, and then you go away, which is fine. And then I obviously couldn't bring out the sweater. No. They were like, you brought what? I was like, I brought a sweater, a top, and a cowl. Because I packed my cross stitch, but didn't get to it. And 3 graphic novels, and yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to have all the free time. Well, because you also don't know if you're going to be stuck at the airport or on the plane,
I couldn't knit on the plane on the way home. The seat was so tight. And I had one of the seats that didn't recline. And I was just so
mine, I realized.
Uncomfortable. Well, I've got a knee that's a little wonky, so I was uncomfortable on the way back. Going out, I was fine.
I was in severe pain going down. My back was killing me.
And you were in first class.
Yeah, but my back was losing its mind. It might have been the fact that I hadn't slept in my own bed in 2 days.
That's probably it.
Like I slept on the couch in Poughkeepsie, and I slept in the bed here, and which isn't a bad bed. It's just old.
Mattress is old.
So, Yeah, but like I got to Miami and they were like, so we can't give you a king, but we can give you 2 doubles and then you can come tomorrow and we can give you a queen. And I was like, I don't care. Give me a room that has a bed and a bathroom. They were like, what? I was like, I don't care. I really don't. I'm so over it. I'm done. My body has given up. Because I was in severe pain and I don't know why. But I went to bed, I woke up, and I was all right. So that was...
It's that hotel sleeping. It's great.
It can be, yeah. I couldn't get it warm enough. Like, I was shivering falling asleep both nights.
Oh, see, I bring a fleece with me.
I had a sweatshirt.
Well, I think
my toes were still cold.
Oh, I brought my socks.
I didn't want to have to... I didn't want to get back up and
hand knit
socks
DK
on.
weight socks. I could have gone through 3 feet of snow in those socks.
So that was...
Because I've had the same thing where we couldn't get the hotel room. It just
right.
kept blowing cold air.
Mm-hmm.
So I generally bring a fleece and I bring the hand knit socks because it can be pretty chilly. So I figured between the fleece and my raincoat, I'd be able to withstand just about anything. But I didn't have to worry about that. So that was good. Did you know the Sheraton is now part of the Marriott?
Yeah, recently.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, we stayed at an Intercontinental, so
I was able to get late checkout.
Very nice.
Very nice. It was very, very nice.
But yeah, so I'm trying to think back on my week. So starting with Monday was the first time I tried to seam up this sweater and it didn't work. But my swap box showed up.
Oh, cool.
So I got this beautiful cowl from
Excuse me, I'm looking for some waist yarn.
This beautiful cowl out of fingering weight yarn, and I can't remember the pattern, but
that's gorgeous.
Yep. So the connection she had to make was Marie Curie to otters. So I think I left it downstairs. So I got a little bookmark that is a little Marie Curie figure, like comic figure kind of.
Really?
Let me pull it up. I have
That's
a photo
cute. Oh, I love it.
And so it has a magnet on both, like a very thin magnet on both this side and the back side of the bookmark. So you put that over. So that's Marie Curie. And then a sketchbook of Paris.
Very nice.
And then Paris, City of Love, homemade paper to write love notes on.
Oh. Beautiful.
Paper seed hearts with seeds in them so you can plant them. And they grow pretty, pretty things.
Oh, we'll have to get some pots.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yes. And then cowl, I think, and then otters. Oh, there was tea. But I brought that up to Poughkeepsie because I was like, well,
I need it.
And then I ended up leaving it
That
there.
is a gorgeous cowl. I love that color.
Look at the cosmic otters, though.
I didn't notice.
Cosmic otters.
Very cute.
Cosmic otters. So yeah. So water. So it was tea. You make tea with water. Blue water. Otters play in water.
Okay. Paris goes to tea?
No. Paris goes to love notes. Love notes go to seeds. Seeds need water. You have to water seeds to grow into flowers. You need water to make tea. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's like my box and round things.
Okay.
I was like, round is going to connect the last 3 sequences. So that came. I did a lot this past week.
She did a heck of a lot. I'm feeling quite jealous. I
swatched for my my mission, which you could have started on Sunday. I did not because I did not want to bring this with me to Miami. So I need to take gauge and determine which I want to use. I did do 3 of the 4 colors, just to see the color, the look of it. I did wash it.
I'm so
jealous.
I blocked it. I want to work on my mission. I've got the pattern. I've got my pattern right here.
I know, and we figured out the size.
Look at that. Gorgeous. And I've got all my yarn.
I know.
And I'm making little socks.
I know.
I know.
So yeah, so that was that.
I need to knit faster.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Sleep is for the weak.
It is.
So yeah, so that was my acquisitions.
I also bought some more video games.
Oh my god.
I think my husband vacuumed up my video games that I had put down on the floor beside the bed. So like Chrono Trigger disappeared. So I bought a new one.
Good.
Yes. I have a new one. And then I got 2 Zeldas.
I just want a Wii U so we can play Zelda Wind Waker.
We need to get the new thing, a Switch.
Yeah, Switch, that's what I meant.
Yes. Maybe for Christmas.
Well,
Okay.
but then who... Because I don't know if you're going to be fast enough to do it.
What?
The Switch.
Well...
I mean, we would have to play it together.
Yes.
We still have to play through Bioshock. But Bioshock's scary.
Bioshock's very scary.
So we have to play that during daytime, and we don't have very much off time together during the daytime. So.
It's very scary. We do better with games like...
Zelda!
Zelda, yeah.
Like, when I lived in this room, we set the TV, like, not at it... So it tells you to set it on... Or to set your dimness or whatever, your light... We set it brighter than recommended because Mom was like, no. And every time the creeper noise came, she'd go, Elizabeth! With the controller.
Yeah.
So, maybe...
As if it was coming out of the television.
As if it was coming out of the television and that I was the only person who could kill it. I mean, I was the only person who could kill it,
Because
but...
I wasn't fast enough.
No. So, we should try and do that again.
The Switch is like a handheld.
Yeah.
I'm better with that.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I think we ought to get the Switch because that's what they're making the new games for.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we could talk to... Yeah, I mean, if we get the Switch, yeah.
Talk to who, Ben?
Yeah, because I was going to say, because I don't think he's going to get one, is what I was saying. So, I mean, it's not like we would end up with 2, because would you take it, or...
Depends on how good I am.
How good you are. Okay. All else fails, we'll have it to play for a little bit. So, yeah, so you bought video games.
Yes, I did.
You also bought some yarn.
I did. Neighborhood Fiber has a gorgeous color for, I'll think of it in a minute,
Rices.
Sanctuary City.
Is what it's called.
Yes. And it's shades of blue, and it's gorgeous. So I bought...
And all of the proceeds, or part of the proceeds, much like the green...
Yeah. Yeah, I lost it too.
I'm losing it here.
It's up there. It's up right up there.
I'm going to go grab it. Marjorie Stoneman High School. Can't think of the... It is Parkland. There we go. Yeah. I love how I knew the high school name. I could say that. Parkland went to the anti-gun violence stuff. These are the proceeds, or part of the proceeds are going to Rices. RAICES. I can't remember what it stands for, but essentially they are one of the major
supporters of sanctuary cities.
They're actually doing a lot of work in Texas and Arizona with the families who have been separated.
You shouldn't be separating children from their parents, especially when they're small or toddlers. The amount of damage that can be done, the amount of terror that you give to a small child by taking them away from their parents is unconscionable.
Says the woman with a degree in psychology.
And the fact that they say they're trying to get them together, they should never have been separated in the first place. We can talk at length about the legality of crossing borders. But I know if the Martians invaded tomorrow and they're walking up the street trying to capture my family, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that my family's safe. And I'm sure that every one of you would do the same thing. So I think we need to think about, the safety and the lives of the kids and what will help in future generations.
So RACES, it stands for Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legal Services.
So anyway, I bought
Sanctuary
worsted.
City on Studio Worsted.
On Studio Worsted, and I got 400 yards per skein.
Right, because that's the put up of Studio Worsted. It's glorious.
And I have a sweater in mind for that.
Ooh.
And then she had some of her limited colors.
The new spring colorways. Yeah.
Yes. And I got the darker blue.
Hold on, let me pull it up. The darker, you mean the purple?
No. There's other colors that she has up on the website.
Let's go to the iPad, folks.
And it's a dark blue. And and I thought I'd do an ink out of that, because that's a worsted pattern. And it just seemed glorious, so I got 16.
No, the ink is a...
Well, who did the ink? Because there's...
Yeah, there is a worsted one, but the ink is a fingering weight.
Whatever. That Massachusetts or something.
So shop.
Keep going.
Limited editions.
Limited edition.
You got the
dark.
The greeny blue? You got that Broadway Market?
Yes.
She got Broadway Market, which is from the Hohi colors for the Interpretations Volume 5 that they put together.
Book.
Yeah.
I got it for one of the cardigans that the woman who designed ink also has a worsted
It's an ink in worsted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I told them today to hold it until Sanctuary Cities was dyed. They're going to dye them after Rhinebeck, considering I have to do all these little tiny socks.
Yeah.
I didn't need to receive Broadway Market before then. So I'm very excited.
That is exciting.
I've wanted to do an ink for ages.
Yeah. I mean, I have mine started. I need to pick it back up.
So many things.
And
I've got all these little socks.
I mean, I have this sweater that I started essentially on the 1st, and it's almost done.
That's good.
This is insanity, is what it is.
Because it's worsted.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to look up my sleeve cap situation.
You got a sleeve cap situation
so you
going on.
hit the bottom markers, last stitch before the marker will be the last stitch you wrap. Okay, you will finish on the wrong side row. Yes. Knit all the center underarm. Okay, great.
So, what else is new and exciting?
So, new and exciting. So we need to start thinking about Rhinebeck.
Yes.
Because Rhinebeck is in...
we're going to Annapolis before
You're going to Annapolis. I have the wedding.
Yes.
One of my friends is celebrating their... Which I didn't tell you my brilliant wedding gift plan.
What?
Did I tell you my brilliant wedding gift plan?
No. This is the first I've heard of it.
The cross stitch?
No.
Oh my god. Another thing I decided on this week that apparently I didn't text Mother about.
No.
So I'm gonna cross stitch them that's
gorgeous.
That one, and that I'm gonna actually do. And I bought a navy blue linen.
Oh, that's really pretty.
So it's by Satsuma Street. It's the mini cities, and I'm gonna do the New York City one. I'm gonna give that one to them on the celebration. And then she has a Hawaii one.
Oh, very nice.
And they got married in Hawaii and currently live in Hawaii.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So I'm also then going to stitch their names and their wedding date.
Very nice. I
got a beautiful cream linen as well for that.
Oh, that's
because I had to buy like 20 or so new thread for it anyways because I didn't have the colors. And thread is like up to like, it was like 56 cents a thing.
Really?
Yeah. Which is like fine. But then I went, because I was like, oh, I'll just go down to the one shop near my office in the garment district that I know has DMC. But their prices are like, have jumped up to 65 cents a thing. So I was like, good thing I only got the one that was like back ordered on the website. And since I was ordering so many pieces of thread or skeins of thread, I decided to order the linen as well. Because I was thinking of getting the stretched black piece because it would have just been big enough, but it was 14. It was a 14 count.
Oh.
And I got like 32 count linen, so I got 16 or some. I got like 16 count linen. I think it'll look a little nice. Not that 14 doesn't look good. I like the smaller pixels kind of better.
Right.
So I'll I'll find a little frame, and because I kind of want it mounted that way.
Mm-hmm.
All else fails, I'll finish it in the next 3 days, and I'll bring it home and be like, Daddy, can we make a frame to put behind this and like mount it to?
Well, you've got the chop saw.
I know, but you really think Daddy's gonna not want to be part of this project?
No, he'll want to be part of the project. He'll want to be part of the project. Yes.
So that's that weekend, and then we've got essentially a week off. For some reason, I know I made plans to go down to the Philly area, but I think I have a dentist appointment that weekend.
Oh,
we should check.
I know when you do, but Dad has to talk to Gary because he was going to try to move everybody to the morning.
Okay, that could work.
To see about because Chris called and said that they hadn't gone sailing and maybe we could go out sailing overnight. And I said, Chris, I don't have any overnights left. She says, well, when don't you work? I went, Sunday. I work 6 days a week.
These are friends who are essentially retired.
Yeah. And I'm teaching 3 days a week, and then when I'm not teaching, I'm in the dental office. So I'm working 6 days a week. I'm not complaining, people. It's just my life, and it's fine. And, we're retiring next May, so soon I won't be doing any of that, which would be great. But I said, unless Richard closes the office, I don't have any overnight. We could go and meet you someplace, but we can't. So anyway, we'll have to talk to Dad because he was going to try to move everybody to the morning.
Which is fine with me because then I can go down to Philly after.
Right. So we ought to...
I might be the morning anyways, knowing us.
No, you're the afternoon.
I am?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to try on my sweater for Mommy. Also because I got to the bottom of this. See?
Oh, I love it.
It's quite long.
Maybe some Lululemons.
Yeah, well, look. I think that's a good sleeve cap.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a good sleeve cap.
You're good.
Thank you. So, yeah. So, I think... Oh, so we were talking about Rhinebeck. So, Rhinebeck, we are doing Indian Tangled.
Yes.
Mom has a class she's taking on Thursday from Rhinebeck.
Going back, teaching on Friday, driving back up.
I think I'm going to help a friend move some of her stuff up to Rhinebeck.
Is she dyeing the yarn for us?
I don't know if you asked.
We had mentioned something in the spring. So
yeah, but...
Maybe we'll just dye something.
Yeah.
We've got all this alpaca that we could actually dye for the class.
We'll figure it out. Because I know she's slightly overwhelmed with getting everything for
and we can try a new colorway for the class.
Okay.
That would be fun.
So I'm going to help my friend get some of her booth up for Indian Tangled. We'll be there Friday for Indian Tangled.
Yeah.
And then Saturday...
Morning, you just texted me a message.
Saturday morning, we have
tickets.
Free, right?
Yes.
So we'll be up there. We'll be walking around. I don't remember. I think Sarah will be coming up for Saturday. Don't know yet, but we'll find out. And then...
We still have badges.
We do still have badges. They're over there. And then...
I think they're over there, but that's okay.
No, there are some over there.
Okay.
And then we'll be walking around. We'll be buying stuff, obviously. And we will probably be at the podcaster meetup.
From 1 to 2, and then running at 5 minutes to 2.
To
Nathan!
We are going to be taking... Have we gotten any homework for that?
I haven't seen any.
I haven't either.
I sent out emails, but I haven't received any.
Yeah, okay.
I must be better at communications. What a shock.
Who knows? Still not October yet.
No.
So we'll be taking the Strandharja class with Nathan. Sockmatician. Sorry. I got a little wiggly and then the chair
to make up new cards.
Decided. We do. We should order some or print up some. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
So that's Saturday. And then Saturday, we decided that we were going to register to go to Jill Draper's studio time. She has open studio at, I think, starting at 6 o'clock on Saturday. If you're part of her newsletter, you know that there is an early bird event, and I did get us spots for the early bird. So,
oh my God, we're going to have to run.
We'll figure it out.
Yes.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, because we will. Or we just got, we'll figure it out.
We have to leave early. Nathan will understand.
Nathan will understand. Because we haven't been able to make any of Jill Draper's events. And I love what she does with
you too.
Really well-sourced yarn. She's just great. So we're going to do that. And then on Sunday, I should have found out.
Did you get tickets for Sarah too?
All right. I'll text Sarah and see when she's coming up.
Okay.
And then Sunday morning, we'll be walking around again. In the afternoon, we're teaching.
Yes. That's what all these little socks are for.
Woo! So we'll probably record Sunday after that, before we go home, probably from the hotel, because that's what we do.
We need a breather.
Yeah. So, I think
we're only teaching for 2 hours.
Yeah. No, our class is only a 2-hour class.
But I think it's full.
Yeah. That's exciting.
It is exciting.
But yeah, so I need to get working on my Zweig, which, hasn't been happening. But my second Rhinebeck sweater is going like gangbusters.
That's fantastic.
I know. I really like it. It's
glad
really
I finished my Zweig early.
Yeah. Sleeve Island is going to kill me. I have to try yours back on again, because I think we determined that the sleeves are an okay length for me, even though they're like
short,
technically shorter than I would normally do, but
is my Zweig over there?
I don't know. I looked over there because that's where it was last time I saw it.
I know. I think I
maybe
need to
put it away. Then I'll try it on before I leave.
Oh, and I got to try my sweater on from the neighborhood that we dyed, because your father said I didn't look good in it. Such a nice guy.
Squeeze me?
And he said it doesn't look good on you. Have Elizabeth look at it.
I'm surprised he's still breathing.
Well, I was tired.
Maybe it doesn't down in your old age.
Maybe it doesn't look good, but I love it.
Then fucking wear it.
Oh, well, so you're going to look and see whether it looks silly or not.
He just doesn't understand fashion.
Right. That may be, too. And then I really do need to block out that lace.
Yeah.
See if it blocks out any at all, even though it's cotton.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be that time of year I could wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was it. I'm still trying to figure out what I want. I want to order Sanctuary Cities from Neighborhood, but I'm also trying to figure out, like, it kind of needs something to go with it. Like, it needs a pattern before I buy it.
Yeah, I already figured out the pattern.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure that out. Other than that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, Sanctuary Cities is in a different spot than the limited edition colors.
Yes.
Because I also really like Fog Point and Concord Point.
They are pretty.
And could use them, like, kind of together in a thing, maybe?
They're very pretty.
They're very pretty. So, I don't know yet.
Very gorgeous.
And I think I've just lost all of my oomph. So
you have to drive home.
I do. So I think we're going to weave in our ends.
Weave in our ends.
And
I'm so glad we got to see you all this week.
Yes. And
we'll see you on Sunday.
Yes. Bye, y'all.